We shall see.
And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Geek Boutique Podcast. My name is JS. As always, I've got my buddy, you know who he is.
You know who I am.
Messiah Complex Cosplay. How are you, Jeff?
Shh, don't give it away. You know who I am. They know. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Is that why you're wearing the sunglasses?
I'm wearing sunglasses. I've been drinking for a few hours now. This should be interesting is how this is going to work out. You keep freezing a little bit. Are you wired in or are you?
I am. You mean I keep freezing on Instagram or here?
On Insta. Yeah, on Insta.
On Instagram, it's possible. My phone just asked me to do an update, so I'm assuming that's why I froze for a second.
And there's a really weird lag between you talking and then your lips moving on Instagram. You look like a kung fu movie right now. It's
which is weird because I see myself fine and I see you fine. Like when you talk, you're instant, but
you keep freezing and now you're frozen. Now you're not. Now you're frozen.
Oh, very weird. Not. Everybody on Instagram, let me know if you're seeing any issues. Worst case, I can always reconnect to my network here. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, everything looks like it's good. He looks fine to me. Oh, well, thank you. Looks fine to me. See, you're the problem, Jeff. I think it's your internet that's messed up.
Or maybe. I don't know. It's fine.
You know.
He does look fine, by the way. Doesn't
well,
thank
you.
Look at that. Look at that boy.
Hey, listen, this week we're going to be talking about some fan theories. You know, I went down the rabbit hole of fan theories on YouTube this week, thanks to our director of operations, Ms. Jennifer here. And listen, I have heard all, and listen, there's so many different crazy theories out there that it blows my mind. But I picked a couple here that I wanted to chat about. I also want to chat about a little bit, maybe towards the end, my theories about the new Doctor Strange trailer that came out and what that actually means for the MCU moving forward. That's going to be my own theory. Before we get started, for the people that are watching us on Instagram, even though it looks like there's only 4 of yous now, or only 5 of yous, and there's nobody online, but everybody watching later or even listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, now including Spotify, please make sure you subscribe to the Geeks & Co. YouTube channel. It really helps us out here. Make sure you also like this video. Those on Instagram, go check us out on YouTube. I mean, we want to try to grow this, but you know, we need your help, guys. So anything you can do, like the videos, share them, subscribe to the channel. That would be a very big help. Dude, I told you a couple weeks ago that I was trying to get through Discovery before getting to Picard. And I'll admit, the story is getting a little bit better in the second half of the Discovery season. But the dialogue, man, is so cringe. I'm having such a hard time getting through it. I gave up, and I went right back. I went straight to Picard. I started watching Picard. I said, screw this. I want to go watch Picard. And let me tell you something. Already in the first few episodes, I have a gripe. There's not enough fucking Q. Where the hell is John Delancey? We saw him for like 5 minutes in the first episode, and then he's gone. Have you watched Picard yet?
Of course. I'm current on everything. It's Star Trek related anyways, but yes. Yes, I have. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I haven't watched today's episode.
Oh, there's a new episode that came out today.
Today, yeah. Well, I guess up here in Canada, it wouldn't be out quite yet, but our matey on the streaming services be coming out at midnight. So
yeah, I think it airs tonight. I think on I want to say Space all the time. It's not Space anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Crave, isn't it? Up here on streaming. I don't know what the live channel would be.
The streaming is Crave. The live channel is now called Sci-Fi, CTV Sci-Fi.
CTV Sci-Fi. There you
go. Right.
Yeah. So yes, he does make some more appearances. Still selectively so, but I feel like that's still very much in keeping with. Like if you watch the first episode of the Q's on in TNG, he throws them into the Delta Quadrant. They run into the Borg, and then it's mostly the Enterprise crew dealing with the Borg.
Yeah, this is like that again. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's generated. He's made this situation a reality, and now the crew's got to figure out how to deal with it. So yeah. But I mean, honestly, we're talking about Picard. Is this what we're talking about? Because there's a much bigger thing with Picard that's happened recently that has everybody flipping the F out.
Well, I don't know. Oh, you mean the fact that they've announced that the cast from TNG is going to be back next year?
You just said that like so nonchalant, like that's not the biggest deal that's ever been.
I mean, is that what you're talking about? Because that blew my mind when I found out that the whole Enterprise crew will be back next year.
The Magnificent Seven will be back for season
3.
What's with
Brent
the
Spiner has said, however, he will be back.
Yes.
But not as Data.
Well, that makes sense. Data's dead.
Well, I mean, there's going to be no more flashbacks. There's not going to be any. Data's done.
You'd be B4. It's fine. It's all fine.
Yeah. You could be B4. Yeah. I mean, totally. Could be lower.
He'll be a Soong. He'll be Alton Soong. It doesn't really matter. But
he was a Soong in Picard season 1, wasn't he?
That's correct. He was Alton Soong, the brother, I believe, or son,
the great grandson, or something like that.
One of them. Yeah. The Soong. They just did a really cool piece on the Soong family and the Soong legacy, and they talked to Brett Spiner. It's like a 3-minute piece and talking about all the different Soongs that have appeared
in Picard.
No. All the different Soongs that have appeared over the course of since like 1987 all the way up to now, because Brent Spiner has played every single version of Soong there has ever been. So they did a really cool like little 3-minute piece where they talked to him and they showed all the different Soongs that he's played over the course of the last 40 years or whatever. So that was pretty cool. 35 years, 40 years. Jeff is hungover. I mean, maybe Jeff's going to be hungover. That's for sure. Jeff's had a lot to drink today. So Jeff sports some sunglasses so he doesn't look too wasted on the podcast. But having I don't care that Brent Spiner's not going to be having all of them there for one. I keep thinking of the tagline. Do you remember when Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country came out? And the big tagline one was, "Join us for one last adventure."
Mm-hmm.
The original crew. So this is easily the last time that all 7 of the TNG crew are going to be back together again for a thing.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm super geeked and excited. I don't have any fan theories.
The question is going to be: are they going to be back as their characters? Or are they going to be back as alternate versions of their characters? Or are they going to? I'm going to be curious to see, because we've had a lot of them back already.
Riker and Troy will obviously be Riker and Troy because they've already been on the show, and I don't see any reason why Worf wouldn't be Worf and Beverly wouldn't be Beverly and Geordi wouldn't be Geordi. Like, I don't know why any of those wouldn't be those particular characters. You know what I mean?
They haven't really talked about at all what's happened to those characters, right? We don't know what's become of Worf. We don't know what's become of Geordi. We don't know.
No, and it's tough too because they had that. All Good Things, the last episode of the TV show, where he goes to the future and he sees what becomes of a lot of these people. Worf's an ambassador for the Klingon Empire and blah 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 blah. But that clearly hasn't happened as far like there's no Enterprise.
Well, is it going to happen?
G or what? I don't know. That's what I mean. So
right. I mean, it may never happen because of it was a time thing. Yeah. Right. So that future may never actually happen. So
timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, as my Doctor Who fans will geek out on that. Hey, didn't you have a fan theory on Doctor Who that you wanted to
do? That actually brings me up to my first fan theory. Did you guys know that internet sleuths have discovered that Doc Brown, I mean, there's a reason why they call him Doc Brown. Because Doc Brown is actually the Doctor. Now think about this for a second. You've got an old man, time traveling, loves pets, has a companion named Clara at the end of the 3rd movie. And he even tells Marty at the end of the last movie, I've already been to the future. So we don't actually know how old Doc Brown is and how long he's been around. I say Doc Brown is the Doctor. Now, you're not a big Doctor Who fan, are you?
I am.
Oh, you are?
I am. I gave up about midway through 12.
Yeah.
I was just watching the clips today, actually. Once, have you watched any of Doctor Who?
I've seen all of Doctor Who except for the last season.
So during Matt Smith's run, when they did Day of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Everything is it's kind of like Avengers in the MCU. Like it's really hard to top that. And I got about halfway through 12, and I love Peter Capaldi as the Doctor. I think he's fantastic. Mm-hmm. But Dude, having all 12 doctors show, actually, sorry, no, sir, all 13 doctors show up.
Because the War Doctor shows up.
Freeze Gallifrey in a moment in time. Well, that was Capaldi's debut. It was before he was even, like, Matt Smith was still there. Like, it was before even the regeneration had happened. Everything after that, to me, just seemed a pale comparison. Yeah, I did not like Capaldi. A lot of guys didn't like Capaldi. A lot of people didn't like Capaldi. I did enjoy
I'm surprised.
Capaldi.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked him a lot.
I did too. But I mean, he's an old man, and so am I. So I mean, it's, there's a little relatability going on there. But
yeah, there was a quote at one point where, and I think in Capaldi's run, where he meets the first Doctor. What was his name?
I don't remember. He's dead.
I forget his name. He is dead, but
yeah.
I think it's his son or his I think it's his son who plays him in the whoever it is. He looks just like him.
William Hartnell.
Yeah, and there's somebody that plays him in one of the episodes with Capaldi. He tells him, I always assumed I would keep getting younger.
Right.
But with Capaldi, he stops getting younger. He goes back to being old.
Does. That's right.
Right? Like he's getting younger and younger and younger and younger all the time, except when he gets to Capaldi. And maybe that's because of the reset that Matt Smith's Doctor goes through when he... Actually, it's in the Day of the Doctor. He's dying and it's his last life. And they reset his clock.
That's the next episode. That's the time of the Doctor. I think that's the.
Oh, that's the time of the Doctor. Yeah. That's the next episode, right?
Yep. So I think your theory's bullshit.
Well, I mean, you're allowed to.
Yep.
I think that you could be wrong, but
I think if they got into the DeLorean and the DeLorean was much bigger on the inside than it was on the outside, then I think you have a leg to stand on.
Okay, but think about this: what if? And this is a big what if. Okay. What if the Doctor ends up on Earth, in the 1950s, and the TARDIS somehow leaves? Something happens, and he loses the TARDIS, and the TARDIS leaves. What do you think is going to be the Doctor's next move? He needs to build another time machine, right? He's a Time Lord. So to me, that would be the perfect scenario, right? He gets stuck on Earth, builds another time machine in the shape of a DeLorean.
You're gonna go with that. That's your theory. That's what you're thinking.
I don't know that anybody online or anybody that's watching is agreeing with me. Nobody's even commenting on this. They're all commenting on
because it's
Capaldi.
Terrible. You're besmirching a beloved franchise.
I'm besmirching a beloved franchise. Hang on. You're telling me
Back to the Future is probably one of the most beloved franchises. Thank balls. Director Robert Zemeckis owns the IP, owns the rights to Back to the Future, and has said unequivocally,
we're not rebooting.
Reboot it. You will not sequel it. When I die, figure it out. But until then, as long as I'm alive, it stands on its own as it is. So thank you, Robert Zemeckis. By all means, keep the. Yeah. So it's an interesting theory. I think we could probably insert the Doctor into any type of time travel. Again, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. By the way, while we're here, favorite Doctor?
Probably David Tennant.
It's tough, right? It's a tough
it is tough.
But David Tennant really, I think, brought... Because Eccleston was good, but he was only on for a season, and he was a little bit rough around the edges. But
I wasn't a big fan of Eccleston.
I think really brought everybody into... made everyone remember how much they love Doctor Who. But Tom Baker, man. Come on. You were of an age. You had to have been watching Doctor Who on TVO when you were a kid.
For sure. On CBC, actually.
Oh, was it CBC?
Yeah.
I think I was watching on TVO, and that freaky song comes on, and then Tom Baker, the longest serving Doctor, by the way, of all time.
Is.
9 years he was the Doctor. And that iconic scarf. Tom Baker was my favorite. Yeah, dude, it's tough, right? I mean, how do you pick one out of the 13? But, man, Tom Baker. That guy was dope. And then he appears in Day of the Doctor as well. He's the museum curator at the end.
So he is. You're right. He is. Which was amazing. That was amazing.
We start to wear the
watching over Gallifrey.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's perfect.
That was amazing. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. For me, that was the pinnacle of Doctor Who, and then everything after that was kind of
fair enough.
Like, anyways. Interesting theory, sir. Interesting theory. I don't hate it. I just don't agree with it. That's all. That's it. That's allowed.
I mean, you're allowed to not agree with it.
No,
like I said. I mean, it's not a competition.
I have a theory.
Okay.
You ready? I got one. It's revealed that Thanos. It has been revealed that Thanos is an Eternal.
What?
Well, we meet.
Hang on, you mean in the movies?
Yes. In Eternals, we meet Eros, who also goes by Star Fox, who is played by Harry Styles in the post credits. He is the brother of Thanos. Okay. He and Thanos are brothers.
Yeah, okay.
He reveals himself to be an Eternal. Thanos is supposed to be an Eternal with the deviant gene. So what if? Well, he is. In the comics, you can look that up. He actually is.
But in the comics, he's not an Eternal. He's a Titan. He's
from Titan. He is a mad Titan from Titan, but he's listed as an Eternal with the deviant gene.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize that, but okay.
Half brother. So what if the affliction that hit Thena, which is they called Mad Weary, which is remembering the past lives. What if that's what Thanos was suffering from and drove him to remove half of all life in the universe? As an agent of the Celestials, that's what the Celestials bred the Eternals to do, to get worlds ready to birth other Celestials, and in fact, kill all the people on that planet, use the people on that planet to give birth to these Celestials. What if Thanos is remembering past planets he destroyed and is interpreting that in his crazy ass mind as, I have to keep destroying to make the universe a better place?
I mean, I don't hate that theory. My only real issue with that theory is that, I don't think Thanos needed to be mad or sick to do what he did. He was kind of right.
Was he, though?
Well, I mean, I get the whole killing half of the universe is I mean, that's crazy, but I mean, you could understand why he's doing it. You know what I mean? Like he's not. Well, I don't feel like it was just an act of a crazy person, right?
He could have just doubled the universe's resources and made everybody happy and healthy.
And you know what? And that's funny that you say that, because I had never thought of that before until just a second before you said it. Yeah. You're right. He could have just doubled the resources or doubled the size of the planet.
Now, Tina went bonkers, though, and Thanos was very calm-centered. Not everybody goes crazy the same way, my dear.
You're right. And the other thing is, Tina wasn't always like crazy and bonkers, right?
Yeah.
She had her moments where she was calm and collected.
I can understand why he was doing it, but you literally are talking about snuffing out. I don't even know how many lives are we talking. We're just on Earth. It would be several billion. So across the universe, is there a number we could attribute to how many people he killed in 1 millisecond? Trillions.
I mean, I'm sure there's some reference within the comic books that would tell you how many worlds were affected. It's going to be a number with a
10 and then a little number beside it. It's going to be, goblet of millions of lives were he killed like all those people in an instant. So I get what you guys are saying, and I mean, I don't know. Anyways, that was my theory, because I wanted to at least bring one theory to the table. JS is going to hit us with another of his theories. JS,
yeah,
please.
I mean, I really, yeah, I just before we get off of this, in my mind, the way they portrayed Thanos in the Avengers movies, both Infinity War and Endgame, they show him as having a purpose, right? They show him as, this is why we're doing it, and this is how we're going to about doing it, and it's a purpose that's bigger than him, and he's willing to sacrifice himself. You know what I mean? He's willing to sacrifice himself at the end, really. He knows they're going to come for him once he's destroyed the stones. He knows they're going to come for him, and he's got no way to defend himself. Sacrifices his daughter. I don't know. I don't feel like, I don't know. I like the concept, but I'm going to tell you, I think you're full of shit, bud.
Of course, that's the point of this.
I think you're full of
episode. Full of shit. Tana, the same. What bothered me is he didn't kill them; he snapped them literally out of existence. I really think it's a tomato thing that we're talking about. Like, they're not there anymore. Like, you're saying he didn't kill them. That's like okay, but they weren't alive anymore. So
yeah, but the theory is that they go into the Soul Stone. When he snaps everybody away, they all go into the Soul Stone. So are they actually dead? Maybe not. Right? You're right that they're not there anymore, and
the Soul Stone. There's nobody there but him and Gamora. And then when what's her nuts goes into the Soul Stone, Jeremy Renner, there's nobody in there at all either. So I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
My question would be then: does Black Panther end up on the Ancestral plane or no?
Well, they don't.
I don't think he would because he's not dead. He's technically not dead, so he wouldn't end up on the Ancestral.
What do you
plane.
mean he's technically not dead? What? Then
when he gets snapped away, he's not dead. He's erased from existence.
Vacationing in Miami? I don't understand.
No.
What do you mean he's not dead? Of course he's not dead. He's not taking up any resources, which is the whole point. So of course he's dead.
Well,
where
yes.
else is he? He turns into dust. If he doesn't die, then the whole thing with Peter Parker saying, "Mr. Stark, I don't want to go," all that's completely pointless if he's just off vacationing at Club Med. Like that's not
for sure.
Of course he's dead. What do you mean? Is he not dead? They're dead. Him and his family dead on his house burned to the ground. Anyway, sorry, I digress. I knew if I got
that's okay.
Stuff, we'd be all over the map on it, but still. Black Panther did not go to the Ancestral plane. Black Panther was dead. They were all dead. And then they weren't dead anymore. Because that's what the Infinity Gauntlet can do. That's really my only gripe with the entire Infinity Saga is they never really show what the capabilities of the Infinity Gauntlet actually are. If you want a fascinating read the Infinity Gauntlet comics, because it doesn't just allow someone to snap their fingers and bring people back and forth out of existence. It literally gives them complete and utter dominion of the entire universe. It turns Thanos into a god. In fact, the other gods of the Marvel Universe come and try to stop them, and they can't. That's how powerful he becomes with the gauntlet. So
yeah, it takes Adam Warlock to come in and
a little bit, but it actually takes Thanos himself. He ends up doing what he always does: is he actually self-sabotages. So maybe like gets the glove off of him when he's gloating and stuff. So yeah, doesn't Black Panther go to the Ancestral plane because he's dead? I don't know.
I don't think he does. I don't think he ever does go onto the Ancestral plane. The only time he goes, from what I remember, is when he drinks the potion, right? The purple flower, the juice from the blue or the purple flower, whatever it's called.
The juice. That's my question. That's where all Black Panthers go. The problem is but then Thor and the whole mythology with like every single little mythology they kind of build up around a character has its own sort of afterlife. So do they all go to their own separate afterlives? So they all go to the same after? Like it's ridiculous, but it's fine. It's fine. Love what you love. It's all good. It's all It's all good. Anyways,
yeah. Listen.
Continue.
I'm assuming you remember that one scene in the Phantom Menace when Palpatine is making his speech in front of, the auditorium thing with all the round, floaty, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The Senate.
Yes.
Thing.
Yes.
And there's that one scene where they're scanning through the crowd and you see ETs.
Right.
Did you know? Did you know that E.T. from the movie E.T.
I can't.
Was a Jedi youngling that was left behind on Earth? And think about it. We know now that ETs are canon in the Star Wars world. So we now know that the movie E.T. is part of the Star Wars universe. And E.T. can move shit with his mind. So... A fan theory, Jar Jar is a Sith. That's not a fan theory. I truly believe Jar Jar's a Sith.
He's not a Sith. He's the Sith.
You know what? Actually, that's a funny one because there was a fan theory before The Last Jedi came out that, what's his face? The big bad in Force Awakens. Snoke. There was a theory that Snoke was Jar Jar. Anyway. Friendly Canadian Geek Pool says E.T. is a Jedi. I know, he is.
I disagree.
So E.T. is a Jedi youngling that was left behind, and it's not actually his race that come and get him. It's the Jedi at the end of the movie that come and get him.
No.
To bring him back to the Jedi Temple because he's just a little youngling, right? He's a little baby Yoda, but he's a little baby E.T.
So here's the problem. If he's an actual Jedi youngling, why didn't Anakin kill him? Because it seems to be what he really likes to do.
Well, maybe he did.
Maybe you think he was in the temple when Anakin went in there. If that's the case, I'm down with that theory. All right. So let's just say that is the case. When Order 66 happens, does that entire race get wiped out?
Well, not necessarily the entire race, but when Order 66 happens, he probably gets killed with the other Jedi. Right? Yeah, think of it. This is a movie that came out way before the prequel, right? The prequels. So in the timeline, you would have to say, well, E.T. happens before the prequels.
Well, before 84, I think, for E.T., if I'm not mistaken.
So,
but then the prequels happened in what, 99? Is it when the scene is that you're talking about?
The scene where Order 66 is not in 99. Order 66
no.
The
scene the E.T.'s in the Senate. I think you said that's in Force.
That's in Force Awakens. That would have been in 90. 98, 99. I forget what year it came out.
Phantom Menace. Yeah. So. Hilarious Cosby would be an ET Jedi. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I can get on board this theory. I'm not going to shit on this one the way I shit on your Doc Brown as the Doctor. That's horseshit. So
this one you like?
This one's not bad. The problem is he only showed a bit of telekinesis. So I guess, I get it. So I think if the Mandalorian show never happens, if we never really see Grogu in that particular arena, I think this theory probably doesn't come into play. But now that we've seen what a Jedi youngling kind of looks like, it's really just based on like a little bit of telekinesis and not a whole lot else. I could buy it. I don't know what the whole glowy finger and the fucking neck thing's going on. I don't know what that's about, but I mean,
that's just their race, right? I mean, who knows? I mean, it's like, how much do we know about Yoda and his race, right?
I think once he got back and told them that we have Reese's Pieces, though, then they all would have come here. Wait, hold on. No, this doesn't work. Wait, this doesn't work.
Why?
This doesn't work. Because it happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. A long time ago.
Yeah, but what says that the Earth that E.T. was on is our Earth and our timeline?
We're looking at, you and I are viewing it, and it says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
Give me this bullshit timeline thing.
But you're also looking at E.T. We're not
Marvel. We're not fucking multiverse in this bullshit. Don't give me that. No, it cannot be. It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. If I had a microphone other than the one here, I would drop it. Boom. I like
Victoria says, boom, disproved.
That's right. The timelines do not match up. I'm sorry, guys. E.T. is not a Jedi. He's just a weird dude that likes Reese's Pieces and has a glowy finger and a weird neck.
And a weird neck, yes. You have.
You almost had him, JS. That's right. I was on the cusp.
I know. I almost had him.
Oh, so close. And I'm like, hey, no, it doesn't line up.
I think I'm gonna have him with my final theory because nobody can disprove my final theory because it's gonna be about something coming.
No, long time ago just means it's light years away. No, because it also says in a galaxy far, far away, sir. That would make sense if they didn't also mention the distance. So it is distance and time. There's no reason to say both if they're synonymous. So that was also a good try, my friend, but it does not work. Listen, I know I'm drunk, but I'm not stupid. All right.
Well, continue. Staying on the Jedi train, you've read the Thrawn theory, right?
I
have read Thrawn theory, the Thrawn trilogy.
I have read the books that are no longer considered canon. Yes, that's correct.
Oh, so you haven't read the newer books?
Well, what you're referring to happened in the original Thrawn trilogy. So.
Oh, was it? I thought it was in the newer one.
No, in the original.
Well, did you know?
This has just become, can JS convince Jeff? You're not wrong.
Maybe his finger could be the lightsaber. Yeah, there you go. His fingers turns into his lightsaber.
Dumbest episode ever. Go ahead.
Did you know that Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi was in fact Jake Skywalker? Now, here's the theory. In the Tron trilogy, Thrawn Thrawn trilogy.
It's okay.
Palpatine somehow gets his hands on, funny enough, Luke's hand. So for those of yous that have been living under a rock for the last 40 years and haven't seen The Empire Strikes Back, Vader cuts Luke's hand off. It falls with his lightsaber. Spoiler alert. Falls with his lightsaber down the, I don't know, through Cloud City. I figured it would just have ended somewhere. I don't know where it fell, but somehow Palpatine ends up with that hand and actually creates a cloak of Luke.
Don't ask him what he did with the hand at first, but yes, eventually,
well, who knows?
He creates an evil Luke clone.
He creates an evil Luke clone to eventually take Luke's place.
Which does not happen, by the way.
Which does not happen.
No.
The theory is that this specific Luke that we see that's, hiding on Batu? No. Where are they hiding again? Where is he? I forget the planet he's on. Whatever stupid planet he's on.
Awful.
That would be the clone Luke hiding out there. And then when she shows up, well, then he just plays the part, right? Because, why not?
Right.
But really, the real Luke is still in hiding somewhere. That's the theory. Einstein did say time is relative. Well, there you go.
He did say that.
And so did Miles Morales, apparently.
Yeah. So we hated the Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi so much that we're now saying that it's not actually Luke Skywalker. It's a clone of Luke Skywalker. So my buddy Bobby there, Vardo Knives, is saying...
he says, I hope that's true.
It is exactly what I said
Bobby,
to him earlier today.
It is true. That's the way I see it.
Wishful thinking. It is not, in fact. That's a terrible theory, says Tennant. Tennant is never on my side, and Tennant even says that's a terrible theory.
As far as I'm concerned, that is now canon for me. Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi is not the real Luke Skywalker and is, in fact, a clone of Luke Skywalker.
Nothing.
And that's why he can't even count. He can't even count. Because he tells Rey, I'm going to give you 3 lessons, and he only gives her 2.
Well,
so, yeah.
Nothing would make me happier if that was the case, because as Mark Hamill said himself before Disney told him, hey, would you like to keep getting paychecks? Can you change the fucking tune, please? As he said himself, this is not Luke Skywalker. This is a completely different character that I'm willing to play because you're going to give me a paycheck, and I'm happy to do that. But here's the problem, kids, is as we all know, they didn't go into the new trilogy with any set plan or story arc across all 3 movies.
They did not.
Bunch of things in The Force Awakens, which is a fantastic movie, by the way, The Force Awakens. And anybody that starts going on blah blah about, oh, it's too similar to A New Hope, any of you people that are also Marvel heads that love the MCU, don't start talking about similar movies to me, because you don't have a leg to stand on. It's a fantastic movie. All these arcs are set up. And then for whatever weird reason, they then gave this entire breadbasket of goodness to Rian Johnson and said, you can do with this anything you want. We don't care. You have complete carte blanche to do.
And he said,
and he went, cool, I'm going to crap all over this, and made just a terrible, 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 terrible movie. But Disney owns Lucasfilm, and they're extraordinarily specific about what is canon and what is not. And all the cool shit we've been talking about with Thrawn and the books and everything else, all the EU stuff, all of that got tossed out. Only the sequels, the prequels, the OG, the cartoons, and the new comics are considered canon, and any of the new novels that have come out.
Correct.
This is canon, man. There's never been a hint in any of the other movies that it's a clone Luke Skywalker. It's Jeff Skywalker. That's right. It's Jeff Skywalker.
Correct. It's Jeff Skywalker. So you're right. Those books are no longer canon, but it doesn't mean that they can't make that storyline canon again. And it begs the same way that they're now looking at making Revan canon.
It begs the question: where is Luke?
Well, that's a very good question. Because if he's not dead, where the fuck was he when all this was going down? His sister dies, and he doesn't even bother to fucking show up.
No.
So I don't know. You're right, and that's where my issue with this theory is, and it's exactly that. Where the hell was he?
Yeah, it does kind of fall apart a little bit. Like, so, and when would the switch have taken place? Like,
well, I don't think there would have been an actual switch as much as who they find is just not the real Luke. Who they find is the clone Luke. The real Luke, Luke is just somewhere else.
The Luke we're seeing on The Mandalorian, is that Luke, or is that Jeff Luke?
In my mind, that is Luke.
That is Luke. Okay.
Yeah, that's not Jeff. That's not Jeff Skywalker. That's Luke Skywalker.
There's got to be a moment where Luke is no longer accessible, and then we get Jeff instead. Yeah. And Jeff's like...
Well, but Luke disappears, right? Luke runs away after the events of trying to kill his nephew.
Right. Which was terrible.
Stupidest thing I've ever heard. But anyway.
So dumb.
So dumb. You know, when George Lucas calls his... Look, I get that the first movie, when it came out, it wasn't A New Hope. It was Star Wars. But when they went back and renamed it A New Hope is Luke.
Of course.
He's the Hope.
Absolutely.
You know? So how are you going to make...
First of the new Jedi in however long, right?
So anyway, I didn't want this to become a Last Jedi rant, but God damn it, let's rant about The Last Jedi. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm on your side. This is the only thing I'm going to agree with you on in this entire podcast. Fuck The Last Jedi. It's terrible. Fuck everything about it. Oh, sorry.
What if Luke knew he was cloned? Well, that's a good point, actually. What if he knew he was cloned, and that's why he's in hiding?
So when do we come out of hiding? When Palpatine returns? No. When your nephew is killed? No. When your best friend Han Solo is killed? No. When your sister's killed? No. So what's he doing? Sipping mimosas on a beach somewhere, going, fuck the universe, I'm just going to do my shit? Like, come on, man. That's Luke Skywalker. There's the same dude. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, friendly Canadian Geek Pool is asking, will either of you two plan to visit Galaxy's Edge or the Star Wars Hotel? I can give you an emphatic fuck no.
No.
The Star Wars Hotel, I'm sorry, is like $5,400 US.
US
for 2 nights.
Not Canadian. US dollars.
That's like $8,000. That's like $8,000 Canadian for a 2-night trip in a hotel that looks nothing like Star Wars. No thanks. I am not interested in that. Galaxy's Edge, I mean, if I ever go to Disney one day, sure, but...
What if money was no object? What if it was $800 and not $8,000? Like,
I probably still wouldn't go.
No, all right. So
I probably still wouldn't go. It's not just the money, no. For me, it's almost a principle thing of how could you fuck it up so bad?
So you
how could you get it so wrong?
You win 2 tickets tomorrow on an all expenses paid trip there. Do you go?
No, I would go to Galaxy's Edge. To the hotel? I mean, look, if I win tickets, sure. I mean, if I win tickets, I'll go check it out. But I would never pay money out of pocket to go. Galaxy's Edge wasn't bad. The bar sucked, though, $175 for 4 drinks. I mean, that's the problem, right?
Yeah,
it's stupid expensive for stuff that's not even Star Wars.
Hey man, live your best life. No one's stopping you.
Yeah, and I mean the droid building thing at Galaxy's Edge looks amazing, but the problem I have with that is for the cost of the droids, you're ending up with a droid that's like 1.5 feet tall or 2 feet tall. Like you're not getting a full size droid. And they're stupid expensive. And the lightsabers.
Like a bad
The lightsabers are crazy expensive, and they're not even accurate. Like, they're way bigger than they should be. They don't look real. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand why Disney's doing this. Like, why aren't you hiring people that... No, of course money, but don't you think you'd make more money if you actually hired a designer that knew what Star Wars was supposed to look like?
Because they're not catering to you and I. They're catering to the sweaty masses that don't know any better. They don't give a shit about you and I. You and I are like 1 in 1,000 people that really know all this stuff deeply.
And that's a big issue that I have is exactly that, right? They're branding it Star Wars without even really caring or knowing. Hey, Tim's joined us. What's up? Mr. Black Captain Kirk has joined us tonight. I don't have any Star Trek theories, to be honest. I should have looked up some Star Trek theories, and I didn't.
Hey, look at this. The power of Google in the palm of my hand.
Well, there you go. It's all a money grab for them. It really is. It's all a money grab. The droids are only $100, but worth... really? So okay. Friendly Canadian Geek Pool says the droids are only $100, but worth it for what it does. Lightsabers are not worth it. I thought the droids were like $1,000 first of all, and they were going to be they were tiny. But I could be wrong. I could be completely out to lunch. Again, it's tough to say even what the hotel really is like because I haven't actually been there. But from the promotional stuff that they've come out, it doesn't look or feel It looks and feels more like Star Trek than Star Wars, which is kind of weird.
So I did find a theory online. This might be interesting. Oh, hey, Matt, London Green Ranger. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you again. Section 30. So if you remember in Star Trek Generations, Robert, and Rene Picard die in a fire.
Yeah.
Section 31 murdered Robert and Rene Picard as retribution for Riker's handling of the Pegasus incident. Does everybody remember the Pegasus?
I do. That's the ship that was stuck in the rock, right?
That's right. It had an interphasing or multiphasic cloaking.
Multiphasic cloaking device, yeah.
He knew Riker and his dad weren't close, so they went after the family of his friend and commanding officer instead. Why else would anyone die in a fire in the 24th century on the safest planet in the galaxy?
I mean, it is weird. There's no doubt about that. But why would Section 31 go after Picard's family instead of Riker's family?
That's what it said, because Riker was not close with his family, so they went after Picard's family.
I mean, Picard wasn't close to his family either, so I can't imagine Riker would. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting.
And then the prevailing theory from the original series is that Trelane is a Q.
Trelane is the that you know what? That's a good one.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because he can bend reality on his planet, right?
That's right.
The only issue I would have with that theory is I think his power only works on his planet. Because he's stuck on that planet, right? He can't leave that planet. He is the planet.
Yeah.
Isn't he the planet?
Yeah,
no?
So he's like a Q Junior or like some type of a, you know what I mean? Like a banished Q or something along those lines, right? But he's definitely part of the continuum in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. That's all I got right now. Wow, there's some really big spoilers in this one. Federation are not actually very nice. That's not a theory. That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, they're not very nice. I mean, how many times have we've had storylines where we find out that really the the Federation are just crooks?
What if
Picard showed us that?
What if the data that we kept on getting wasn't data, but it was lore after a certain time frame? What if they switched since they looked exactly the same? What if it's all holodeck simulation?
What's that? Sorry.
Just
no. Say that last one.
No. It's fine. I'm literally just going through. What if all of it's just a holodeck simulation?
Your daughter likes your glasses there.
Yeah. Oh, does she? This is cool talk, but what's cooler are those shades. What you're not detecting there is the sarcasm. That's what that is right there. I have taught you well, young Padawan. I have taught you well. We're going to see the new Harry Potter movie soon. Oh, I have a Harry Potter theory. I know you're not a Harry Potter guy, but I got to hit my Harry Potter people with this one.
Yeah.
Talking about fan theories.
Yeah.
This one actually has some meat. There's what if Picard never left the Nexus? I've seen that one too, and that's
that's one I dived into in the last week as well, and that was interesting. But I didn't like it. I didn't like where it went, so that's why I ignored it. But anyway,
so for my Harry Potter people, this one's going to take a little bit of a meandering turn and twist, so I apologize. But in the books, if you read a lot of the early books, now I want to preface this by saying we are definitely talking about the work of Harry Potter. We are not going to get into all the intricacies of what's happened with J.K. Rowling in social media and everything that's sort of occurred since then. We are going to separate the two things. The work exists. I'm not condoning whatever she said, blah, blah, blah. Anyways.
Hey, Steve's just joined the podcast. What's up, Steve?
So Harry Potter in the early books is commonly referred to as the boy who lived. And in fact, I think the first...
The boy who lived?
The boy who lived, yes. Because in the first couple of books, especially the first books, is detailed that when Voldemort, Lord Voldemort, in the movies, played by Ralph Fiennes, goes to kill him, the killing curse rebounds off of Harry and ends up essentially discorporating, but killing Voldemort in Harry's stead.
Killing, yeah.
And yes. And then, but Voldemort's now a non-corporeal being and he tries to get a body back and the whole thing. So in the early books, he's commonly referred to as the boy who lived. In the later books, though, he starts being referred to as the chosen one. And you start to learn why. And this is some of the genius that J.K. Rowling did. She plants seeds early in the novels, and then she finds a way to retcon it, but seamlessly. It turns out that there is a prophecy, and the prophecy details a child that will essentially become Voldemort's downfall. And there's all these little criteria that the child has to meet. The parents have to be wizards. They have to be born under a certain sign on a certain date, yada, yada, yada. So Harry is not the only child that fits all of these separate criteria. There's one other child that fits it as well. Neville. Thank you, Tim. Neville Longbottom, another character in the books and in the movie, also fits all of the criteria. However, Harry becomes known as the chosen one because when Voldemort hears the prophecy and hears that this child could be his doom, he selects Harry. So in essence, Voldemort makes Harry the chosen one by going to his place first. So he's not there to kill Harry's parents at all. He could give a shit about Harry's parents. He's there to try to kill Harry to head off this prophecy. And in so doing, he becomes the architect of his own destruction and doom, both that point and then 7 books later. But the prevailing theory is, had he gone to Neville's house instead, Neville would then become the boy who lived, the chosen one, all of those different things. So Neville could, in fact, have been the chosen one, could have, in fact, been the child of the prophecy, but for a left turn, that Voldemort instead. So it's a big, huge prevailing theory in the Harry Potter universe. Is Neville, in fact, the chosen one? And Neville does play a key role in the ultimate defeat of Voldemort, but for a simple choice that one character made, it ends up being Harry instead. Now, would he have killed them both if he had been okay after killing Harry? Probably, but I don't know. I get the sense that whoever he chose, there would have been an extenuating circumstance. The prophecy already exists at this point. It's already been known that this child is going to end up being sort of the downfall. One cannot live while the other one lives. So, yeah. I don't know, guys. That's interesting, right? See, it's getting some discussion going, and that's good.
Yeah, so let's just say this. So let's say Voldemort does kill Harry. Somehow. Right? And he goes after Harry, and he does kill him because his parents don't do that spell on him. And then what happens? Does Neville then become?
Or, in essence, if Voldemort goes to Neville's house first, and that ultimate protection that Lily Potter bestowed upon Harry by giving her life, if Neville does not get that protection in some way, shape, or form, does the prophecy now not come true because Neville is now the chosen one, but Neville is actually killed? So there's a lot of that's what I'm saying. Either child is essentially ready to fulfill the prophecy. Voldemort himself actually ends up choosing the child that ultimately ends up being his downfall. So yeah, very, very cool, and very cool.
So is that a theory or is that an actual thing?
It's the thing is, it's technically it's a little bit of both. Like it's detailed in the book that Neville is still born under the same signs, but of course the book doesn't go into what would have happened if type of thing. Like none of that happens in the book. She doesn't explore that in the book. She just says that Neville also fulfills all the requirements of the.
I'm going to need our Harry Potter nerds here to confirm or deny this, because I feel like Jeff is trying to sell me on some bullshit here, I don't know better because I'm not a big crazy Harry Potter geek. No. I mean, that sounds legit to me, but
I'm not pulling any of this out of my ass. This is all there in the books. It's just not fully
interesting
explored, so it's become more of a fan theory. And some of the fan theories, by the way, end up thank you, Tennant. No, it's 100%. Yeah.
So then it's not really a theory. Then it's more of a actual thing.
Well, kind of yes, and kind of, because it's never explored on that end of things. We don't know. It becomes a theory. We don't know what would have happened if he went to Neville's house instead of going to Harry's house. So.
All right, listen, we got to move on here because we've already been on for 50 minutes, and I thought we were going to have a hard time getting through an hour, and I've got a bunch more that I wanted to talk about, so I'm just going to throw one out quick. We're not really going to talk about it, but maybe I guess we could talk about it for a few minutes. But the movie The Rock,
with
Sean Connery,
yes,
Did you know? Did you guys know that the movie The Rock with Sean Connery, sorry, not Connery. The movie The Rock with Sean Connery is actually the final James Bond movie.
Me too. I love barbecue sauce. Yeah, I do too. Hi, Nick.
Hey, Nick is there.
So go, if you do yourself a favor at some point, go on Reddit, because some young man took some time and put together.
Yes, I read it.
It's
insane.
It's crazy.
It's insane from him being hunted down and going to jail and yeah, it's a fun theory. Yeah, it really is a fun theory. Guys, if you don't know, again, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want to talk about the next thing, but if you don't know about this theory, let me tell you something. Go and read about it. You will never see that movie in the same way again. You're actually going to want to go back and rewatch that movie. And it makes it an even better movie when you realize that, what's his name? Mason? Is that what his name is?
John Mason.
John Mason is actually James Bond, because even in the movie they tell us that John Mason doesn't exist. They don't know his real name. In any case, listen, before we get out of here, I want to talk a little bit about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
I knew you would.
I actually released a little bit of a trailer review. They had a new trailer come out last Thursday, I think.
I know. I watched it.
And I hadn't had a chance to watch it because my family was in town and I was in the middle of painting the house. And anyway.
I mean, I watched your video of it. I didn't watch the
Oh, you watched the video? Okay. Well, I didn't
video.
want to talk about this theory in that video because I wanted to talk about it tonight. And I knew the video was going to release today, so I didn't want to talk about it. Anyway. In Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I theorize, we're going to be getting multiple Scarlet Witches. We already know we're getting multiple Scarlet Witches. We've seen different Wandas interacting together, from the zombie Wanda to the normal Wanda to the Scarlet Witch Wanda to the Russian accent Scarlet Witch. If you've seen the last trailer, you realize that in some scenes, she doesn't have her accent. In other scenes, she has an accent. That is telling me that that Wanda that we're seeing with the Russian accent is actually the X-Men's Scarlet Witch. The same X-Men Scarlet Witch that wished all mutants away. Listen to this. I'm assuming you've heard of the story of the House of M.
Of course I have. What am I, a peasant?
All right. So in the House of M, for the people that don't know, in the House of M, Wanda loses her kids. First of all, she loses Vision. And then after losing Vision, loses her kids. A little bit similar to what happened in WandaVision. And then basically loses her mind and wishes all of mutants away. And for I think a year, I'm not sure if it was a year, but for a long period of time, the whole landscape of Marvel Comics changed. There were no more mutant characters. The X-Men disappeared. All the X-Men comic books, X-Force, Deadpool, all the mutant characters disappeared from the Marvel Universe. Lo and behold, we have never had any mutants in the MCU. They've also now basically spoiled the fact that Professor X is going to be in this movie, because in the trailer, he says to, I forget what they're called, not the Inhumans, but the
Eternals?
No, the council of all the leaders of the
Illuminati?
The Illuminati. He tells the Illuminati, we should tell him the truth. The truth being that the House of M has already happened. And that's why we don't have any mutants in the MCU. We don't know, because it's already happened. She's already wished away the mutants out of the MCU. The culmination of this movie will reverse what evil Scarlet Witch or X-Men Scarlet Witch did, wiping out all the mutants. And that's how they're bringing the X-Men and all the mutant characters back into the MCU. Wabam. That's what's going to happen in Doctor Strange 2, and that's my own theory.
Wabam?
Wabam. Tell me what you think of that one.
Here's the problem. I don't dislike it, by the way. I think it's good. The problem is going to come with, narratively speaking, in a movie, it's difficult to pull off. Like, you have to sell an event that's already occurred.
Mm-hmm.
and then the reversal of that.
They've already sold it to us in the trailer, and I have the quote written right here.
Hold on. But it sold it to you because you're a giant fucking nerd and you know what you're talking about. They're not trying to sell it to you. They know you're already drinking the Kool-Aid. They have to sell it to the other 100 million people that are going to watch it that have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So there'll have to be a gigantic exposition dump and probably a bunch of flashbacks as well to explain everything that you're talking about, and then the culmination of all the mutants coming back. To me, for Marvel, that's not how it's too cumbersome for them to try to fit that into this particular film from a narrative standpoint, when they could just say, we're going to have mutants now. Like, they don't have to do anything that you're talking about.
So let me ask you this. You don't feel like fitting the Civil War storyline in one movie wasn't doing exactly the same thing you just mentioned?
Well, they didn't. No, because it wasn't a flashback. It happened as it happened.
Well, it did, but it's already
happened, and now they have to explain everything that's already happened, and then the effect it's going to have moving forward. Narratively speaking, I don't think that really works because none of it's happening right now. You know what I mean?
And by the way, she even says to Strange, "You break the rules, you become a hero. I do, and I become the enemy."
Well, I think she
is the big bad of this movie.
I think she's talking about creating a whole town and then enslaving all the people in it.
And because it's Russian accent, Wanda, that says that.
Well, her accent kind of comes in and out in WandaVision.
Well, you know what? You're right. It kind of does. Let's see here. Oh, there's a lot of comments now.
Give her.
Read them off. Tim says, but wouldn't that mean the X-Men Scarlet Witch already exists in this world? Not necessarily, because So the way that they're explaining this movie is they're going to be jumping. They even say it. One of the actors, the guy that Wong. What's his name? The guy that plays Wong. Something Wong. His name is actually something Wong. Yeah, anyway, Wong. Yeah. Benedict Wong says we're jumping from universe to universe. So she doesn't need to exist in this world. They're going to meet her regardless. They're going to meet a bunch of Wandas. I think what you're going to see is a bunch of Strange and a bunch of Wandas fighting each other. We're going to see a lot of that, I'm pretty sure.
So many Wandas.
Tim says they already have the Avengers Wanda in this universe, so they wouldn't already have the X-Men Wanda in this. Yeah, exactly. We have ours, and this would be a Wanda from a different universe that wiped out all the mutants everywhere. My thing is if she's wiping out mutants, wishing mutants away, she's not wishing mutants away just in our universe, but in all universes. I like your thinking that the accent to Wanda is X-Men. Yeah, I mean, that's my thought. That was from Tim, by the way, again. Friendly Canadian Geek Pool. This movie will bring the X-Men in. Either way, new actors or as the X-Men or the old X-Men come into the MCU like No Way Home. Yeah, and that's, I think, was what they're doing with Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart is going to come in No Way Home style as Professor X. But the X-Men that we're going to get when they bring back our X-Men are going to be different. That's my thought. I'm also going to theorize and throw out there that we might actually see Deadpool in this movie. There are rumors that Ryan Reynolds has been seen on set. There are also rumors that Hugh Jackman has been seen on set. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's see here. Yeah. So you don't. What's his name here? Says I love it. Vardo Knives says love it. So there you go,
Buddy Bobby. Yeah. As a nerd, I don't hate your theory. I think I think your theory is great. I just don't think it works cinematically. That's all I'm saying. That's all. It's too much. It's too clunky. It's too much backstory for them to have to try to fill in. It's just so much easier for them to just say, hey, here's a multiverse. Hey, look, there's mutants over here. They just weren't in this version of the universe, and now we're going to bring them in because Doctor Strange broke shit, and then Wanda broke shit more, and now they're together breaking shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tennant wants Loki. Yeah, we know Tennant wants Loki.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Loki will be in this movie as well. Actually, I'm going to, again, theorize Loki's going to be, or a version of Loki anyway, a variant is going to be part of the Illuminati.
It would be pretty stupid to build all of this nonsense variant crap they did in the Loki show and then not have Loki in this movie. It would be pretty dumb if you're asking me. But
Friendly Canadian Geek Pool says Ryan Reynolds says he's not in it, but So did what are their names? Andrew Garfield and
no, Tobey Maguire never confirmed nor denied, but
fair
Andrew
enough.
Garfield he wasn't in it. I will say this for the Ryan Reynolds guys, the Ryan Reynolds crew. It was also rumored that Ryan Reynolds was seen on the set of the reshoots of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and they asked Ryan Reynolds about it, and he said, "I am not in the movie." And it turned out he was not in the movie.
He was not.
So keep that in mind. I'm not saying Deadpool's not going to be in there. I think it would be super cool if he is, but he doesn't necessarily have to be there.
Mhm.
But I mean, if you're going to bring in, Namor would be bitching. They should definitely have Namor up on the stools with the rest of the dudes. But I mean,
well, he should be part of the Illuminati.
the Illuminati, yes, no, 100%. And they should have Reed Richards up there too.
He's one of the original members, isn't he?
So here's the problem, I guess, too, is do we have to pick what we're going to introduce as far as the new franchise goes?
I think they're introducing everything.
Well, yeah, but you can't. You have to serve the story.
I think they are. I think they're throwing everything at us.
No.
But what you're seeing thrown at us is not what we're going to get. Like I said, Patrick Stewart's going to be in this movie, but Patrick Stewart's not going to be Professor X in our X-Men.
But do you honestly think they're going to launch both the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in the same film?
I wouldn't be surprised at all. This is the breaking point, I think. This is the flashpoint of the MCU, as far as I'm concerned.
I gotcha. All right. Well,
I really think they're going to reboot a little bit. They're going to... This is a chance for them to reboot.
Right.
Or soft reboot, anyway. Get rid of what they don't want anymore. Bring new stuff in.
Character this time. Yeah. No, I know. But then do Tim you use that same read, or do you get like a different read? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not...
Well, again, if it's Multiverse of Madness, we could get multiple reads.
I know, but people still have to have continuity. Like, regular people have to have continuity. You know what I mean? Like, it's not... Like, I know it's Multiverse of Madness, but we're getting the Doctor Strange that we already know, and then we're getting a bunch of variants of it, and then at the end, we're still going to have the Doctor Strange that we know. Like, there's going to be consistency throughout.
Or are we?
Of course we are. People need that. We don't need it, but like regular average people that are going to pay $20 for a ticket for the movie, who Marvel relies on those people understanding what the fuck is going on, they're going to get that. Right? We're not going to get like a completely different actor and a completely different Doctor Strange.
No, I don't think Doctor Strange. I mean, Benadryl cucumber patch is going to be back as Doctor Strange for sure.
Wimbledon tennis match. He's going to be back.
Yeah, my that's what my daughter called him the other day. Benadryl cucumber batch.
That's right.
I thought that was funny.
That's great.
Tim is asking, we can assume the Illuminati works in a pocket dimension that is protected, or else that Xavier would be gone too, right? Yeah, I mean, I would think so. It would have to be. There would have to be some weird thing going on where the Illuminati are. I mean, if you know about the Illuminati, you know that the Avengers protect Earth, the Guardians of the Galaxy protect space, the Illuminati protect the multiverse, right? So,
there's the Nova Corps too, and hopefully, apparently, they are starting to develop a Nova adaptation. I don't know if it's going to be a film or a TV show, but
I don't know. I wish there was a proper Nova movie or...
Well, apparently it's in development now. So, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be a Disney Plus series or if it's going to be an actual film. I'm hoping it's a film, but we'll see. So far,
Black Panther. I mean, a lot of people are talking about Black Panther in the Illuminati. Guys, Black Panther was part of the Illuminati at one point, but he was never one of the main members. The main members were always the leaders of the different teams, right? Captain America, Xavier, Reed Richards, et cetera, right?
Some people have done some freeze frames and some cleanups of some of the shots, and one of the shots is clearly Killmonger up on that stage. So,
well, there you go.
I'm assuming is subbing in for Black Panther. I don't know, which is really stupid, but I mean, whatever. Any variations?
Over under 30% X-Men are introduced, yeah, for sure.
Well, disagree. You know what? No. I'll agree, but I think it's going to be one or the other. I don't think they throw everything in. For them, it's a giant waste opportunity to throw all of their properties that are coming out soon into one film. I think that even Marvel's not that dumb. They're going to milk like they milk everything. It's been 26 movies and a bunch of TV shows. They're not going to give you both. I don't think. So it's either going to be X-Men or Fantastic Four. I think they've pretty much played their hand that it's going to be X-Men. Guys, I want to make sure I'm clear on something here. I'm an X-Men freakazoid when it comes to the films and such. I love the early X-Men movies, X-Men 1 and in particular X-Men 2. X-Men 2 is one of the best comic book superhero movies ever fucking put on film. It's amazing. Nobody's going to be happier to see the X-Men than me in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I just don't think you're going to get everything that we're hoping to get into this film. I don't know if you bring all the X-Men in and then you bring all the Fantastic Four in and then you get this and this and this. It's
Wild Blood. Yeah, Wild Blood 2304 is saying rumors are just rumors until you hear it from the real source. Well, yes, but Wild Blood 2304, this is a show about fan theories. And, we're just as legit of a source as anybody else as far as I'm concerned.
It's true. They were in What If. They'll be in this.
Keep drinking beer.
Yeah, we're going to keep drinking beer. That is correct.
Reed can be a side character this time. Yeah, for sure. And I don't think that any of them are going to be main characters. I don't think Xavier's going to be a main character either.
No, for sure. No. Obviously, it's called. You guys know it's called. You guys know it's called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's clearly Wimbledon tennis match is going to be the Bendy Straw Cumberbatch is clearly going to be the main guy. They don't need to introduce the FF4. They can just introduce Reed. I mean, Frost Day Loki. Give up on the Loki shit.
Frost Daddy Loki.
Well, from What If, right? He's in his Frost Giant form, like his actual natural, like he was never adopted by Odin or whatever.
That'd be awesome. The only time we've really seen him, no, that's not true. We saw him as a Frost Giant in the first Thor, or was it the second Thor?
I don't know. Terrible.
And then we saw him as a Frost Giant in What If, which wasn't even him; it was a cartoon. But yeah.
Nope. Yeah, he goes blue in one of them, but I don't remember which one. Maybe the first one. I don't know.
I'm hoping we get to see Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and Blade all together in a movie or series on Disney Plus. I wouldn't count that out, and you could probably add the Black Knight to that list because they've already had that post-credit scene at the end of Eternals, where Mahershala Ali. Yeah. Well, you can hear him anyway. You don't see him, but you can hear him say, "Why don't you pick it up? It's yours after all," or something to that effect. So yeah,
Victoria. I don't know what the context is, but Frost Daddy Loki. Yes. Yeah. How has no one done that cosplay?
He goes blue in the first one. Well, there you go. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but he doesn't get giant. Sure. He just goes blue. And that's when we realize
You're right.
He is Loki Laufey's son and not Loki Odin's son.
Correct.
Yeah.
Friendly Canadian Geek says they don't need to introduce the Fantastic Four, just Reed Richards. Well, exactly. Reed Richards can be part of the Illuminati without them saying, I heard the Fantastic Four.
You guys are nitpicking now, but sure, let's go with that.
Well, we are, but, who's going to be nitpicking once it turns out to be true?
One and the same, kids. There's only 4 of them, and you're going to bring in the main guy. Yeah, you're right. No. We could just do one and shut up. You're just picking fucking shit now. Like that's. Come on, man. We can bring in Charles Xavier, but we don't have to bring in the X-Men. Shut the fuck up. You're full of shit. Stop it.
Hey, buddy, what are you doing this weekend? Any plans for Easter? Or?
I don't know. I want to take my kid to go see the new Harry Potter film, but she's got plans on Saturday. So what am I doing? You know what? Not much this weekend, man. I think I'm just going to have a nice chill, nothing.
Just keep drinking
Well, I'm getting together with Crazy Mike Cosplay. I don't know if he's still in. He was in here. I think he's working, so I think he's kind of flashing in and out. So he and I are going to go to our usual haunt here in London that we go to every Friday at 6:00. We're going to have some beers. We're going to eat some chicken tenders and then have some more beers, and it'll be good.
When you say we're going to eat, I didn't think you were going to say chicken tenders. I thought you were going to say something
this place gets shit on a lot for food, but the chicken tenders there are the best in London. If you ever get out our way, man, we'll take you there, and you're going to have these chicken tenders.
What's this place called?
It's called the Ale House.
The Ale House.
The Ale House is in downtown London. The chicken tenders are the tits. They're so good. So we're going to do that on Friday, tomorrow. And I think I might be doing a guest spot on another podcast. Our good friend Jolie, who has been on the podcast, has a podcast of her own, one of them.
Really?
It's called the Full Volume Podcast. And they typically pick up on the Marvel shows, and they do kind of like an after show where they talk about.
Nice.
And I made a comment on one of her things talking about Moon Knight, and she'd asked if anybody had watched it, and I said, watched it, yes. Enjoyed it, no. And she said, oh.
Yeah, you've had gripes, haven't you? I've been seeing your constant.
Wow, this last week's episode too. Moon Knight does not appear until the 32-minute mark of the show.
42-minute episode, right?
And then he's on the screen for 3 minutes, And I'm like, I'm totally Jeff Goldbluming it from Jurassic Park. Like you do eventually plan to have Moon Knight in your Moon Knight TV show. Yes. I mean, you haven't thus far. We see more of Khonshu than we do of Moon Knight, but it's not called Khonshu. It's called Moon Knight. And now Khonshu's been in prison, so he probably doesn't have access to any of his Moon Knight stuff because he gets all his powers from Khonshu. So is the next episode going to be just him running around as Oscar Isaac? Because we've already seen that for 3 episodes in a row. Yeah.
I mean, they have to flip the switch at one point. I mean,
holy shit! Can we get to that, please?
You know,
this is almost as bad as the Book of Boba
had
Fett.
the same issues with the Boba Fett show.
Holy God! I just want to see Moon Knight on your Moon Knight show. What would you guys? Don't give me shit for this. What would you guys do if Loki didn't show up until the 32-minute mark on your Loki show? You guys would riot and burn the place to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
All we're seeing is Oscar Isaac with his multiple personality disorder for 30 minutes out of every 40-minute episode. I just want to see some Moon Knight, man. That's it, because that's what it's called. Moon Knight.
I'm a little worried we're going to have the same treatment with Obi-Wan.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. But at least the ancillary stuff in Obi-Wan, like the Sith and the Inquisitor, like at least that's cool shit.
I mean, it is, but I'm still worried that the Obi-Wan show is not really going to be about Obi-Wan.
No, I think you're right, unfortunately, and it makes me really sad in my pants. But I mean, it's not cool, by the way, either, to call your show Obi-Wan and then not have. Now we're pie in the sky right now. This is another theory, right? We don't know.
Yeah, and there's like 2 months or 3 months still before it comes out or whatever it is. But
I hope we're wrong, but it would not surprise me if we were right. And
don't get me wrong, I love the whole Inquisitors side of things, and like we're going to see some Star Wars stuff that we've never seen on screen before, right? We're going to see an era that we've never seen in live action, I should say. We've seen it in cartoons, but never in live action.
That's what I'm saying. At least the ancillary stuff is cool.
Yes.
The ancillary stuff in Moon Knight is not very cool.
Yeah, I still think that they're selling us on an Obi-Wan show that's not going to be an Obi-Wan show.
Oh, don't say that, man. That hurts me. That hurts me in my, right here in my
What's going to make me more mad is if I predicted this like a year ago that the Obi-Wan show was going to be a Vader show.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be really, really pissed if they make a Vader show when they don't fucking call it Vader.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just call it Vader then?
Like I'm too much of a Star Wars fan to let that one slide. That would piss me right off.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
But I would also be pissed off if
I'm enjoying Moon Knight, but I never read the comic either. It seems an extraordinarily simple concept to me. Is Oscar Isaac putting on a master class of acting? Absolutely. Is he doing a fantastic job? He's doing a wonderful job. Is Moon Knight in their show that's called Moon Knight? Not very much for 3 fucking episodes so far. So that's my only gripe, man. Like, I'm glad we're getting a deep dive into I called it multiple personality. I apologize. The dissociative disorder. But I mean, come on, man.
Do we know how many episodes there's going to be?
I don't know, but holy moly, it's been 3, and we collectively, has he been on the screen for? I bet you, if you add up all the time he's been on the screen, it's less than 6 minutes, and we're 3 episodes in. Because he appears for 4 seconds at the end of the first one, and I timed the third one. He was only on screen for 3 minutes, and I'm pretty sure it's a similar time frame in the second episode. So it's still entertaining to me. That's good. As long as it's entertaining you, that's good. I'm really struggling with it, and if the 4th episode isn't a giant step up, I'm probably going to drop it. Only 6 episodes. What?
That's crazy.
Oh my god,
that's crazy. There's only 6 episodes of Moon Knight, and you haven't seen Moon Knight in the first 3 episodes. That's nuts.
Not okay.
Blows my mind.
Don't let Marvel get away with this shit. Just because everyone loves Marvel, don't let them get away with that stuff. You all shit on Boba Fett for the same exact thing. Shit on this for the same thing too. That's not okay. Pretty sure there is another. Sorry, what's that? Oh, yes, another personality show up as well. Jake. Yes, that's correct. There is a third personality. So
I don't know what that means because I haven't watched the show yet. I did finish The Expanse. We need to talk about that at one point.
We should have an Expanse show. We should have, because we haven't really had that yet. So
we haven't because I hadn't watched the damn last season, but I did. Okay. And was it way too short?
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was 8 episodes, and then I'm watching episode 6, thinking, okay. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch the next 2 episodes, and then I'll watch episode 9 or 8 on Friday.
No.
And then the show ends, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. And then that last scene, I cried like a hungry, angry baby. I cried.
What was the last scene again?
Well, do we want to spoil it, or do we?
Yeah,
Want, I mean,
it's been out for long enough now.
It literally, like the Rossi sets a course, and it just.
Oh yeah, it just flies away. Yeah.
Becomes one of the stars. Just, and I'm like, come on, man, how is this all done? And I think I mentioned to you before. So Alcon Entertainment, who produces the show, went to Amazon and were like, well, this is what we want to do. And Amazon was like, well, this is all the money we're going to give you for the final season. So whatever you can do with this budget, that's what you can do. And that's when they were like, well, we can only shoot 6 episodes in this budget.
Interesting.
And so that's why that last season was like that. So
yeah, the last season was way too short, and it went way too fast. And as much as I wasn't a big fan of the whole Marco Sinaro storyline, it like, wait, what? It's like over, and he's just dead, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like there was one battle.
Yeah.
There was one battle. I was like,
no. Because there were too many storylines that had to get tied up, and
Well, and I get that. I think that was part of the problem, right? Is like you've got 5 seasons now, or 6, 5.5 seasons, let's say, of storylines that you need to wrap up in 5.5 episodes, because by halfway through episode 6, it's over. The rest is just them riding out away in the sunset, right? So, Illegal Alien Cosplay is asking, "Are you watching Halo?" I am not. I've heard it's not even a show about Halo, or at least not about Master Chief.
I've never played the game, not a single solitary second of it, so I don't really have anything invested. If I hear it's like baller and it's really cool, maybe I'll go and check it out, but I haven't heard anything. I haven't even heard anybody talking about it. So
I heard something about backlash about Master Chief in the last episode. Not so in the first episode, Master Chief takes off his helmet. In the second episode, Master Chief takes off his whole armor. And in the last episode, Master Chief is prancing around naked, and people went so fucking nuts, they removed the episode. I heard they removed the episode, and they've re-edited it and re-uploaded it without Master Chief prancing around naked. Now, this is all shit that I'm reading online, so I don't know if there's any truth to this, because I haven't seen it. No idea. But apparently people aren't. Illegal Alien Cosplay is saying good so far. The comments that I'm seeing are not very good about the show. But then again, that's all you hear nowadays, right? Is the negative side of stuff. You never hear the positives anymore. So
Discovery. Anyways.
Yeah, but Discovery's shit, bud.
No, it's not. I loved it.
This season good for you.
Fantastic.
No, good for you. You're allowed to love it. You're allowed to love it.
Tell him he's wrong. You're allowed to have your opinion.
Exactly. Exactly. You're allowed to love it.
The tagline of the show should be, "You're allowed to have your opinion." It's just wrong.
There you go. It's just wrong. Exactly.
It's either that or buy it. Go and buy it, stupid. Those are the 2 taglines for this podcast.
Wildblood's saying he's been enjoying Halo as well. So hey, maybe I should check it out. Maybe it's good.
And maybe that would be good for someone like you and I, where we don't have any background in it. Like maybe if we can go into it fresh without the expectations, then we might be okay.
Yeah.
If we can just look at it from its own standpoint. But I mean, there's so many things to watch. I don't have time for that shit.
Hey, Jeff, why don't you let everybody know who's watching on Instagram and perhaps watching this show after the fact on YouTube that can't see what your Instagram is and everything. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Well, if you're watching on Instagram, you found me, because this is
there you go. Good point.
So Messiah Complex Cosplay is where you can find me across all of them thar social medias. What's coming up? Jeff has not been convinced for a whole hour from what I've seen. That's correct. That is correct.
No, Jeff just playing hardball here. He's
Yeah, you almost had me on the ET. I was on the cusp.
That is still canon to me.
Yeah.
I call it now canon. And I say that the ET Earth
far away
is not our Earth. Yeah, it's another Earth far away.
Timey-wimey.
Listen, they never say in ET that they're on Earth.
Stop it. What are you talking about?
They're not on Terra.
There's Reese's Pieces. They're on Earth. Stop it. Stop everything that you're talking about right now. April 30th, my friends. I want to put that out there. April 30th. If you're in the Southwestern Ontario area, Chatham, Kent, the CK Expo will be happening on April 30th at the John D. Bradley Center in downtown Chatham. It is one of, if not my absolute favorite of the smaller cons in this area. So if you are going to be in and around the area on the 30th, please, please, please come on out and support this. I would like to point out as well, it is a not-for-profit con. All the proceeds from the con go to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Chatham Kent area. So it is worthy and it is wonderful. And hopefully I've already got illegal alien cosplay, Loki Quinn cosplay. Anybody that's going to be in the area, it is worth the drive. Come on out and check it out. It is a marvelous, marvelous convention. It's one day only, just Saturday, April 30th. Come check it out. I will be there hosting the cosplay contest. A good friend of mine was in Lens Mills in Chatham, and apparently my face is all over the posters of Lens Mills in Chatham talking about hosting the cosplay contest. She sent me some pictures, and I was like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I didn't even know they were printing up posters with my face on it, but apparently that's the case. So if you want to see yours truly, I'm going to be there as Captain America on April 30th. Please, please, please come out and support this very, very worthy cause. And again, it's a great con. It's fantastic. So
I thought you said they were trying to get people to come to the con.
What?
I mean, aren't the posters supposed to get people to come to the con?
Oh, I see.
Not scare people away.
What you're doing. The Windsor Ghostbusters will be there. Thanks, buddy. If I had feelings, they would be hurt, but I don't because of all
because you're drunk.
Because I'm old.
Because you're
Anyways,
old. There you go.
That's all I've
coincidentally, same day, April 30th, Oshawa Comic Con is also on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, right here in Oshawa, Harmony Creek Community Center, very small little convention. We will also be there at one point. That's why he's got the sunglasses on. He's a celebrity now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hence the "you know who I am." See, if you could see him on YouTube, his name tag, his lower third says "you know who I am."
So here's the thing: it is a reference to, I believe it's Iron Man 3. I think it is. I think it's Iron Man 3. He's got the sunglasses. He's at a party, and everybody's got like, I know, terrible. He's got
yes.
His name tag says "you know who I am." So
right.
I'm channeling my inner Tony Stark.
Fair enough. Loki Quinn says, pass. I guess she's not going to CK Expo.
No, she's going to CK Expo. I don't know what she's passing, but she's already said earlier she's going to CK Expo. So.
All right. Well, we will be at Oshawa Comic Con.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, next Friday, April 22nd, we're doing another cosplay / armor cosplay chat on the Cosplay Alliance channel.
Nice.
I'm going to be co-hosting with Avera Cosplay.
Nice.
Fred Wolf, our buddy Fred Wolf Cosplay. Fred from Mauritius is going to be with us. Evil Ted Smith is going to be with us.
Nice.
There's a bunch of people now off the top of my head that I can't remember, but there's going to be a ton of people in this. Down in Creative Studios is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people.
Let me interject real quick. If you have not gone and checked out Fred Wolf Cosplay, go and check out Fred Wolf Cosplay. He might be on our first. I think he was our first guest or amongst our first.
I think was one of our first guests. Yeah, it might be
his work is, his insights are wonderful, and his work is dope as shit. Go check out Fred Wolf Cosplay because I think he's working on a Daredevil concept right now, and it just looks so.
It's amazing. It's like an actual devil.
It's
top notch. It's done actually.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah. If you go check it on his Instagram right now, it's actually done, and it looks ridiculous.
Sweet.
Yeah, Fred Wolf Cosplay. Go check him out.
Yep.
So we're doing a armored cosplay chat on the Cosplay Alliance YouTube on April 22nd at, I believe it's 7 or 7:30. So check that out. Otherwise, I think that's basically it. You can find me at JSBelonge1701. How long have we been what?
How long have we been doing this podcast? That's what Victoria would like to know. How long have we been doing this podcast?
That's a very good question. I'm not even exactly sure.
I mean, we started it during the pandemic.
Like 12 years. No.
12. It feels like it's 12 dog years. In dog years, for sure, it's 12.
I can tell you how many episodes we have.
JS reached out and he's like, "I need a celebrity for this podcast. Are you available?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess." Rub elbows with you plebs. No, I don't know. That's a good question. It was definitely during the height of the pandemic that we started it. So
it was.
But
I'll tell you in a second.
Fred was an early guest. If
Podcast
he was on the first
dashboard, episode lists.
Like we got to be coming up close to a. Like it's certainly been months. I don't know if it's been a year yet, but it's probably like on its way to that.
It doesn't actually tell me here. I don't know. It's got to be close to a year. I
would think
feel
it's gotta be
like
close
it's
to a year.
probably at least 6 months.
Yeah, for sure, 6 months.
At least 6 months.
Somewhere between 6 months and a year, for sure.
Yeah.
JS called and Jeff's manager answered. Well, I had his people call my people, and we scheduled a little meet and greet. We had some lobster and steak. And JS wanted a celebrity, but got Jeff. Bummer.
Thanks, Tennant. You made me laugh. That was a good one.
Tennant,
Yes,
I
yes.
thought we were friends. I thought you had my back. Now I know your true colors shine through. And there's my buddy Jordan. What's going on? Jordan, you always get here as we're finishing up. I feel so bad. I think this is the second week in a row that you showed up literally as we're about to log off.
Jordan, funny enough, was actually on our last Armor Talk on Cosplay Alliance.
He should be. Have you been following his channel and seeing his progress on his Mr. Sinister?
Oh, yeah. His Sinister's wicked.
Well, I was with him when he first wore that. We did a there were, I don't know, man, probably 30 some odd cosplayers all dressed up as various X-Men. I was there as Cable. My buddy was there as Magneto. We had an Emma. Anyways. So Jordan shows up in his Mr. Sinister, and everybody was like, "Holy fucking shit! Look at this dude's Mr. Sinister. It is baller." So yes, and now Jordan's been cool enough on Pentakill Cosplay, guys. Go check it out. To do like essentially like a step-by-step, Jordan, would you say, like almost like a tutorial on how you put the costume together? It's fascinating. It is super cool. You need to go check it out for sure. Pentakill Cosplay. Yeah, go check it
definitely.
out. Definitely. Yeah. Lokukum was there too. Hello. Yeah. That was a big group. No joke, right? There was like 30 some odd of us in that group. It was the biggest group I've ever been part of for sure.
Awesome. Well, listen, we're gonna cut it off here because we've been on for almost an hour and a half now, and it's Friday night basically for me. So
me too.
I got more beer to go drink. So
how's that?
Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. I was the X-Men photo shoot on that Saturday at Fan Expo. I remember that. Well, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, it's big.
So yeah, thanks for always sticking with us. I love the fact that people watch us live. This is always so much fun. So thanks for sticking with us through the end and chatting with us. That's always great. We're going to see you next week like always. And that's it.
Perfect.
Any last comments?
I love you guys.
Peace out, everybody.
I love you too.
Stay geeky.
JS.
See you next week.
Bye.